So let's talk about cons and pros of what is happening to Palestinian people. It actually brought people closer to each other because we got to understand how much devil is in power throughout the world. So nowadays we see that lots of people in Iran that had gone out and they are, doing some demonstration against the government, even though the government has been like so popular among the people around the world, except Iranian themselves, because we have been the target and the victim of what is happening, all the suppression that has been happening and been pushed upon us inside Iran. When I was 19 years old, I had this very, very wise friend of mine. I didn't know back then he was actually that wise. He told me that Israeli people are trying to push this agenda of LGBT, like trying to really push people towards becoming more gay and being more comfortable. Well, that's one thing, but another thing is that like actually it is like sort of like a chemical reaction that is causing lots of men to become gay nowadays, and that's okay because it is supposed to happen that way. The future is going to be women and women only, and that I cannot complain about that one. And another thing that he told me was that so what they're trying to do is like to really like pushing globalization, so there will be like a monoculture, just one culture that people are going to follow, and you see like there is like one trend and all the young people around the world kind of like follow that, which is okay. All of these things have like two sides. So maybe like the intention initially they were created to control people, but like we human, we are so much more complex than that, and like our DNA, it has been designed by God. So like if you push something demonic amongst people, there will be some divinity coming out of it from the other side. There's always the light at the end of the tunnel. So what they try to do like amongst Iranians, so they try to really like create this division inside Iran, so people are like lack union within themselves. And another thing was like he told me like these two things he told me, like I'm going to tell you exactly. Number one was that like Khomeini, like the first, like the guy, I'm going to make a video about that because like so many people don't actually know how Khomeini got to the power. So this guy, basically he's not even Iranian, so his ancestors goes back to India, to the north part of India, and and yeah, he's Indian. He has like this huge urge for revenge, like upon Iranian. There was like something within his family that caused that thing. And the second thing he told me is that like Israeli are trying to really bring down the culture amongst Iranian, so men are not as masculine or like as powerful as they used to be. Because like if you study like some poetry in Iran, Iranians are known for being soft-hearted and like really great warriors, like, and they also are like a very tall, very intelligent people actually. Like honestly, I'm telling you, I lived in Iran, outside of Iran, and I'll tell you like Iranian are actually very, very intelligent. And then another thing he said, like, so they're trying to really like do something from inside to like really to like wipe out our great culture, and then with an attack from the outside, that's the only way that they can get actually the Islamic Republic of Iran outside of Iran and get all our resources. Because like what the USA and Israel want from Iranian, all they want is our resources and our money. So they don't really care about you if you're a young person suffering. All these years they were so quiet, they didn't say anything, and all these people have been suffering. So Iranian right now, they got a bit of support, they got a little bit of attention from the outside world thanks to the internet and the kind-hearted people sharing these things. But actually it started with Palestinian, and also like with the femme liberté, like as like the women like freedom and life, that movement. But it got quite right after, because like of course the West is getting all these cheap resources from Iranians, so all the oil from Iran goes to Dubai, and they put a few drops of like a UAE oil in it, and they call it like a UAE, and they sell it for such a cheap price, and all the money goes to the families of Sepah, like the military or the family of anyone related to the government of Iran. But the government of Iran, one thing that they're doing, which is great, is like standing against the Israeli government. But unfortunately, Iranian, they hate their current government so much that they would prefer Zionists like Israeli come rule over Iran but not the Iranian government, because they have seen so much, they had enough for 30 or 40 years. But so it's a bit of complexity right now. So like Israel here would support Iranian in this moment, because they're going to be like, Iran and Israel together, let the Israel come to Iran, but they're not going to love you Israeli. They laugh at you. I've been dealing with a bunch of Israeli throughout all my life, like traveling around the world. I've met so many of them that deep inside they don't really love you, they just love themselves. Even though they don't really love themselves, they hate themselves because they know they've been played by the government greatly. So they really know, like, also they've been played for a price of their own lives. So they know they're nobody but puppets of the government, and they can't really voice it out, because like, who are they going to tell when all the world is being played by the Israeli government itself? And unfortunately, these people going out there, they are so tired, and I really feel them. I understand they're so fed up, but it brought Iranian together. This is the most important thing that Israeli cannot understand, that you brought people together. We can see it in Nepal, we can see it in Indonesia, all these devil out there. We just realize our governments are a bunch of assholes, like, who are just greedy and like in love with money and power and status. So now it brought Iranian back together, but it happened also more than 40 years ago, when they overthrew the Shah. The Shah was no, you can't really compare the Shah to this regime, because they're like two completely opposite. They're so different, you know. But these people are doing the same mistake that they've done before. It's the same agenda, where the same people being played upon them, which is Israel and the United States. And back then, maybe Israel was not like, you know, it was just a small state. They were just like, you know, but like the policies and like the diplomacy of everything that they had in agenda, the strategy was still there. It has been going on for centuries. So people nowadays are the grandchildren of the same people who went out there and overthrew the Shah, and they brought these people there. So now they want to overthrow this one and bring Israel in, or the son of the Shah. He's married to a Jewish woman, and he's just completely the most incapable person of power. You look at him and you know this guy, he's like a complete puppet. I would say, like, you know, the most, unfortunately, I'm going to say, I think the So like, these people are going to do the same mistake. I'm not saying that like we need to keep this government, because this government has done so much harm and cruel things to Iranian people that people are fed up, that they would prefer Israel right now, or the son of the Shah, who is just like nobody. But one good thing is, and the most important thing that people need to remember, is that to learn to stay together. This union should stay like, you know, really tightened, and like they have to keep it together for a long time, because even if they are going to overthrow this government right now, and if Israel or the Shah comes and they just realize, oh, what we have done, this is shit, like, at least they can come up with another solution within themselves. They always have to have the plan B if the plan A is not going to work. If the plan B is not going to work, it's going to be plan C. So they have to really come up with such idea, like, I know, something that they know about, that this is the history repeating itself. So if this is not going to work, you gotta have like the other options open, and not like, because like what happened like more than 40 years ago, like when this Khomeini came, we got attacked. As soon as people wanted to stand against the government, Iraq attacked Iranian. That's how people lost their power, and they just went on with it, because it was 8 years of Arabs colonization. For the time they tried to come and get one of our cities that is rich in oil and like a black golden, like we call it black gold sources. They wanted to come take that, and it was not only Iraq, it was all Saudi Arabia, all the Gulf countries, all the Arabic countries. You would see the soldiers, they were not only from Iraq, they were from all these Arabian countries, that they wanted to come take Iran again. So we had to just fight till we got tired, till we lost all our youth. So many innocent people died, but people do not know about this thing. So this is going to repeat itself. So you're going to bring Israel or the Shah, and then they're just gonna sell you. All they want to do to separate all Iran into west, east, center, north, and south. That's their plan. That's what they are trying to do, and there's like a little talk about it. And if you listen to these people, usually they talk themselves out in the conversation. So that's what they're planning to do. So it's unfortunate, but history repeat itself, and people were just like going against this government. I'm not advertising, I'm not supporting this government, I'm not like annoyed, I'm not taking any sides. I'm just like really telling you the truth, that you need to know what is actually happening. But I hope people would be making smarter and more intelligent steps this time, and like got like some plans. But of course they're gonna get attacked, so Israel's gonna come and like leave them naked. That's what they do wherever they go. Like, Israelis are not your friends. They say they're your friends because they just want a bigger country. They think they lost 6 million, but they didn't lose 6 million. There are just so many. They don't even give you the right number of their population. There are just so many. I have alone seen 5 million Israelis all around the world traveling, new faces, and they say we haven't made up to our number. They've made it a long time ago. They haven't even lost all those people they say they lost. So it's very important for Iranian people to stay really intelligent right now. But I know my video is not going to change much, because history repeats itself, and people love to do the mistakes, so that all these grandchildren of those people are doing the same thing. And the good was gone, bad came, and the worst gonna come. Honestly, that is going to happen, because I think like the Shah and like Israel, these are foreign people. These are strangers. Of course, like Islamic Republic, also they were foreigners. Like Khomeini, he was not even Iranian, honestly. But like Khomeini, probably he does not know much about what is really happening. So there are like so many awful people around him that are like taking benefit, like the advantage of like, you know, unknown. They steal everything and sell it, and like, you know, they put their children in the best universities, in the best houses, and you know, they also marry with them themselves. So lots of crazy things are happening, but like I hope this unity would turn people into the light, and I hope people come up with better solutions than like giving the government and everything to the hands of someone who is married to Jewish and who is connected to Israel government and who is a puppet of the American government. By American government, I mean North America, the United States. And so they made a name, United States. You cannot even say United Statian. So you don't really have any option but just say American. And even I hate it if someone says they're from, like they're American, I would say north or south. But like, it's very unfortunate. I hope people come up with some solution for that. But it's beautiful to see people together again. And of course it gives them a good feeling when they're all out there together. But all the Iranian needed was a little bit of the attack from the outside, and that's exactly what my friend said. Like, so people now, they know they've got an enemy, which is their government, and the enemy got an enemy, so they become friendly with the enemy of the enemy. But that enemy is the enemy of the whole humanity, of the whole population of the world. They want to take over everything. They're not friends to Iranian, they're not friends to Lebanese people. They're just there for what you have. They're there for your land. They're there for advancement. Of course they don't want good for you, because they think they're so much better than you. They even use their own people, their own population, for their gold and money back during the World War II. That was all planned. But anyway, not everyone wants to know about these things, especially Iranians. They just have their ears closed. Even when I talk to them, they don't care. They really don't care. But I hope it gets better. But let's see. Cheers.